What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yarrell. Welcome to Spilling All the Tea. This segment is TeaV Smoothie, and we're going to be talking about Empire. I know some of you guys are thinking like, hey, with TeaV Smoothie, I thought we're taking, different, shows and whatnot and blending them all up into this one video. Well, Empire season finale was actually 2 episodes back to back. So we're blending together both episode 11 and 12 of season 1. Ha ha ha! But before I officially get into this, I do want to say I apologize for the lateness of this video. And the couple of other videos I'm about to do are going to be late as well. This has been a very rough week for me at work. I mean, long days, having to do some meetings, some tea spilling as well. And trust when I say I wasn't spilling tea on this camera, I was spilling all the motherfucking tea out there. So it's been a little crazy, been a little bit hectic, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. By the time I get back to my domicile, my ass is ready to go the fuck to bed. I'm not gonna lie to you. But again, better late than never. This video is now R&B Divas should be uploaded shortly after this, so give or take, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 hours after, because I gotta watch it. All that, y'all know what I do, okay? And the TeaV Smoothie for Once Upon a Time, Gotham, let me see, Flash, and Arrow. It has and has nots. I'm gonna try my best to keep that video short, but that, like I said, those two, you'll more or less get the TeaV Smoothie one for that probably tomorrow. I don't know. And I say tomorrow because, Mario Party 10 came out today. I know I'm talking right now, y'all. But Mario Party 10 came out today. And they're, or I should say yesterday. But I'm having a party later on today. And, we're going to sit around as a complete fucking fool. So that's how that shit right there going to work. So that's why I'm trying to hurry get this shit out now before that happens. All right, so enough of all the fucking talking and whatnot. Jumping right into Empire. So let me see. Start off with Lucius having you know what? Hold on. Because this is spilling all the tea, and I got so overzealous, I got ahead of myself. Y'all know I got my tea. See, I know y'all was gonna give me be like, you ain't sipping tea. Haha. Gotcha. Ooh, that's strong. I'm gonna have to sip that one, especially if I got a whole lot of notes here. Alright, so Lucius is having a blurred vision. And it's having creator's block. And I say that because, part of it is composing, the other part is writing. So it's both, as a composer, he's having a composer block and a writer's block. So he's having a creative block right now. So let me see. Becky comes in and, she wants to know about the business with Snoop and Hakeem. And he like, look, I don't want to talk about that right now. And he, sort of kind of snaps on her. And she was like, I had to roll down. She says, use your inside voice when you talking to Becky. I was like, oh, shit. Damn, Becky? Going somewhat ham. I'm like, all right. Becky got a little bit of that, okay. She been hanging around Cookie too long. That's what the fuck that shit was. So she leaves and he has a flashback of when he was having, a creative block, how Cook came over and said, okay, we'll rearrange it like this. But from there, once that's moved out, everything else started flowing. So he summons Becky back in and is like, get Cookie on the line. She's like, Cookie's on vacation. Cookie ain't here. So we cut to Hakeem. He with his people doing his little rap freestyle shit, and his father calls, and he pretty much is like, yeah, just tell the motherfucker I ain't here, I ain't trying to fuck with him. Which I think is a little bitch move, because it's like, if that's how you feel, and talk to your fucking father. Not to mention, I think I didn't put it in here, that, nope, didn't put it in there. So Cookie is at the cabin, giving their nookie to Malcolm. So all y'all need to know about that. And Lucius is trying to get everyone together. He's starting to see that everybody is off doing their own thing, and it's starting to get to him a little bit. But given the news from the previous episode, do you really expect anything less? Just saying. So a nurse is trying to just say, okay, we need to get some some samples, vitals, all that stuff. He's like, not right now. He's like, okay, well, are you doing okay? He's like, yes, but just this blurred vision. And Becky said right there, the nurse is like, blurred vision is not a symptom, or he hasn't known it to be a symptom of ALS. Something to keep in mind. Moving on. So you see Jamal, he's at his album signing with his boo thing. Now I know everybody thought he and the boo thing broke it off. All the boo thing said is, I ain't trying to raise no motherfucking baby. That's all the fucking boo thing was trying to say. But they're still together and still doing business together. And Jamal was pretty much saying to him, like, don't you need to go back and work with my father? He was like, nah, I'm going to stay here. And one good thing about this scene was there was a, like I said, I've never been to one of these, like, what, where an artist has their album and, signed it for people and shit. But the guy pretty much said, just like, you were an inspiration because you coming out the way that you did helped me to come out to my brother. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. So a nice little moment there. So feeling that. So then we get to Lucius and Snoop. They're doing a press release. And, Lucius pretty much says that Hakeem's album will be released the day the Empire goes public. And next thing we know, Beretti has sent somebody and pretty much served an injunction. So pretty much, Empires as a whole, not going public at this particular point in time. So Snoop performs Peaches and Cream. Snoop and Ty does just like boom, just beating shit like Titan flipped the fucking drum over and it's like beating on it, just kind of creating a beat, freestyling. They call Hakeem up and he said something along the lines of he pretty much is dissing his father in the rap. He raps that he can't keep his family together. And it was like, ooh. And then this was a line that just straight kills every motherfucking thing. He was like, if he the king, then I'm the prince. I'ma run the empire, then leave with your bitch. I'm gone. I was like, oh, like everybody was just like, I was like, this is like, did you just shade your father on the motherfucking stage? Like, like the shit, it was one of those things where if that shit happened in real fucking life, you know what I'm saying? So, he walks off and Lucius like, Hakeem, he turns around. Lucius stopped for like 2 seconds and bop, knocked his ass on the floor. He gets up. Now I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he's about to start crying. Cause I remember when Jamal gut punched that ass, but he did this, sucked it up, and then he walked off. I'm like, I save face, don't sit here, don't be a little bitch all your life now. So let me see. Afterwards, Lucius nope, talked about it already. Sorry. So Jamal and Hakeem discussed their father. And Hakeem is pretty much saying, look, if you don't hate dad, you're a fool. He's like, dude, look at my situation. He done paired me up with Olivia, forced us to get married. He slept with her, got her pregnant, and had me believe that baby was mine. So I know that you're mad with what's going on with dad sending Camilla away. I understand, but he is dying, and this right here is not just about him. It's about this company. It's about what he is leaving behind for us. Let's work on that, and let's not focus so much on the deception and the lies, the hate, the betrayal. And that's very mature. That's very wise. I don't know if I would have, taken the motherfucking high road. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't know if until I'm in a situation as such. But Hakeem is pretty much saying that he's leaving, going to a different unit. Jamal was like, you can't do it. He's like, yeah, I can, because we never signed no documents. So the music, for what it's worth, is still his, because, again, producers and everything else have already been paid for, of course, and all the writings are original for Hakeem. So, I mean, if he wants to jump shit and there's no contract, in essence, he really can. And yeah, he's just like, fuck. That's how Jamal's looking like, fuck. So Lucius goes and he asks Portia, "Where Cookie?" And she spills it all accidentally. It wasn't intentional, but she accidentally, let the cat out. I don't really know what it meant, but I think that was enough for Lucius to figure out, oh, she ran off with Malcolm. So, Andre meets, hold the hell on, because I done sat here and I'm writing down names and shit. I wrote down wrong for that. He meets with Michelle and says that he couldn't go back to work because nothing fits. And she was like, okay, well, maybe God wants you to try on something else. I'm like, okay, slick with it. So they get the Bibles out, they sit down, all that good jazz. Move on. Cookie brings her sister Empire for her to see everything. Her key card doesn't work. Then she finds out from Lucius that she's fired. And he was like, yeah, because you was over there with Malcolm. And so she mad like, so you're doing this because I'm fucking somebody else. But this doesn't even equate to everything that you did to me. And she's right. But hey, again, y'all, it's Lucius. It's all nothing. It's his way or no way. So, Cookie leaves and she says to him, you gonna need Cookie. So, Cookie packs up her stuff in her office. Malcolm comes in and then he reveals that he was not fired, but that he is thinking about leaving and taking a job in D.C. and that she should come with him and he's going to take care of her like this is a good paying fucking job. And Cookie is like, look, I can't leave this. I helped build this. I can't just leave what I helped build. So Andre arrives and tells his father he needs to find a new CFO. Lucius still doesn't want him to necessarily run Empire, but he wants him to be comfortable where he's at. So Andre reveals that, look, I've had this darkness, this void. I filled it with other things. I'm not filling it with God. And Lucius trying to tell him that all that really matters is the music that man makes and what comes of it. The sound of music. That right there, the art and the sound of music, that is the voice of God. And he's trying to convince him. I'm like, you're really not doing a good job here, bro. And then Andre leaves. And Andre even said, like, you're trying to, before he left, he's like, you're trying to promise me this. But he shows him an article about Jamal possibly being the new face of Empire. He drops that shit down. And this is before they talked about the whole God thing. And, Lucius sits down and sees that and flips it over and sees Jamal's face, and that prompts him to show up to almost like a album release party, if you will. I think that's probably what it was, or just him just doing a meet and greet, or just showing up at a club. And excuse me, I gotta put this fan on because it's getting a little hot. And yeah, I'm sipping this tea. It's a strong ass tea right here. So back to my notes. So he reveals the injunction and how he can't move forward. Jamal reveals that he pretty much said, like, I guess you wish you wouldn't have locked out Cookie. I was like, you better ride for your mama, boy. Ride for her. And Lucius reveals that, he's had this creative, writer's block, but ultimately it's a creative block. And talks, to Jamal and pretty much says that this article is calling you the new head or face of Empire. Do you believe that? And if you do believe it, are you willing to do whatever? Like, do you have this monster inside of you? Like, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get what needs to be got? And I'm pretty sure he said that because when, when Boo Boo Kitty left, Empire was trying to take people. Jamal was trying to take the sensible approach, and they looking like you sometimes got to do what you got to do to get and keep, what you want to get and what you want to keep. So this is why he's asking him. But he has to remember, your son is not from the lifestyle you are, all right? But again, we're going to see some things later on, you guys. So Jamal brings them back to their apartment where they grew up, or where he grew up and where Lucius and Cookie raised them. And he's pretty much feeling that, if they go back to this environment, this could break the creative block. And they're throwing shots at each other. He's like, oh, he brought me back because you put you back in the trash can. He tries to walk off, comes back. He was like, oh, at least you walking like a man. And I'm just like, damn, dude, for real? So they go in there. and the piano or the keyboard they had is still there. So he's trying to, he's playing on and whatnot. And I mean, what he gave was garbage. I'm not gonna lie. And Jamal calls him out on it, just like, maybe we already did write your best shit. That right there, that was like a blow to his ego. Definitely a blow. So, they do their talking and everything. And, Jamal reveals that he's like, I worshipped you just by the way that you did music. And, they start talking, and he's like, are you only doing this because you're dying? And Lucius like, I've dealt with my demons and everything. What do you know about killing? What you know about this? Like, what you know about any of this? And he's telling Jamal that you need to be able to not only pour this aggression out, but you need to be about it. So, let me see. They do this song, and when I say, Jamal got you. Well, first and foremost, Jamal does not need to show aggression, because the motherfucker was standing there point blank telling Reg, motherfucker, shoot me. So he's showing it right there. But they sing this song, and he literally is pouring out aggression. I mean, just giving you all of this and shit. I'm just like, all right. And, they get done, and, Lucius like, that's how you murder a song. He was just like, this ain't your song, bruh. And he's like, I'm only going to do this if you bring back Cookie. And Lucius pretty much tells him that, look, bruh, this will only work if you get my masters back from Beretti. And Jamal's like, well, Vernon and the lawyers tried, and they failed. He tells him, you are going to have to do what needs to be done to get it back. And that's going to require you to do something that Vernon and the lawyers were not willing to do. And I was just like, I know what he mean by that shit. So Cookie and Carol, and Carol is a sister, at Lucius' mansion. Lucius comes in, he kisses Carol, apologizes for everything. She's just like, look, why did I get a text message, saying that Jamal is on his way to find Hakeem, because they pretty much about to make a move on Beretti. And as soon as he heard that, Cookie doesn't know what this means, but he does, and he even recalls the conversation that he had. And they don't show the flashback, but he knows, like, fuck, I just put this bug in Jamal's ear. Fuck. Yeah. So, Jamal arrived at Beretti's, and he asked him, like, can we talk outside? Now, they're either, I don't know if this is a studio, a suite, or whatever, but they're on, if not the top, they're pretty much on the top floor, if not on a floor high enough to where there is a drop. And, Jamal grabs his ass, posts him up, and have half of his body over the edge. It's like, look, dude, either you gonna give my father back his damn rights, or you gonna want to say that it's pretty much just saying that you about to fall off the fucking edge. So Hakeem's flunkies, I don't even know what I'm doing this, his flunkies come in, and he's pretty much like, hey, grab the papers at my back, like directing traffic. And they ain't even questioning it. He's like, you gonna sign this shit. Next thing you know, Lucius walks in. This motherfucker tells Lucius, you shouldn't be here. Go get Hakeem. And I'm looking like, was the roles reversed? Because that sounds like some shit a parent would tell a child, you don't need to be here. Like, it's just like, what? Whatever. And Lucius go find Hakeem and he sees that he is fucking Boo Boo Kitty. He sees Anika. So how am I gonna do this? I need to. Okay, I'm grabbing a keyboard. So I'm Anika. This Hakeem. This is back of his head, and he's like Anika. So then you have Hakeem turn around and she does this and goes back into. I'm just like, ooh, you scandalous. You a scandalous hoe. And yeah, pretty much, fucking leaves. So now we have let me see. Hakeem, he's with his doctor, and she reveals that he has MG. I didn't bother to write down the motherfucking name of it. Y'all can look that shit up. But she pretty much saying that MG and ALS, they are different, but they share similar symptoms. And when it came to the whole ALS, what happened is they pretty much did the process of elimination of what he could have, and they leaned more towards ALS. But when and she even said your nurse was very astute to remember you saying that you had these this eye problem or this trouble with your eyes and double vision. That is MG. And he got a little bit upset and pretty much told her to get out because it's just like, how dare you fucking misdiagnose me? Like, that was his whole thing. But when it finally sunk in, it's just like, wait, I'm not dying. And he laughed because he's not dying. So now we got Lucius and Andre. So they are at the at Michelle's church. Michelle, who is played by Jennifer Hudson. And he tries to get Andre and the boys to come to the whole bell ring ceremony where, hey, we're going public and everything. And Andre really is not with it. And Lucius is like, are you going to continue to hide here? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And Lucius just like, you know what? I'm going to show you let's see who's more powerful. Your God or me. I was like, no, don't do this. But he did it. He goes in there and he pretty much corrupts Michelle, pretty much telling her, you know, oh my gosh, you saved me, you delivered me, and I want you to be the head, to be the face, to work with me with this gospel, this project that I have. I want you to help me with, you know, not the song, but this record. And she says yes. So then we cut to Lucius. He's getting injections to deal with his tremors. And they pretty much say in a few weeks it'll be gone. But, you know, the guy was like, you might have insomnia. And Lucius is like, I'm already dealing with insomnia. So he gives him some pills. But he said, I'm already dealing with insomnia. But insomnia for what? So it cuts cuts to Andre. And he's talking with Michelle and pretty much telling her, don't do this project, you know. And she's like, well, it's a blessing. And when a blessing comes, you take it. And he's like, my father is the devil. You just spread your legs for him. I was like, you don't say that in the house of the Lord. You don't do that. But he did it. And, you know, I want y'all to remember that because, trust me, with the whole spirit and soul segment that I just started, I'm going to talk about blessings and curse. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned for that. That should be coming real soon. Probably tomorrow, if not sometime next week. Just saying. So, Lucius is sleeping. Because like I said, I mean, you had... Because like I said, it's not really a difference in time. I think that with the whole cinematography thing, Empire fucked up, or the creators Empire fucked up, because the talk that Andre had with Michelle literally occurred the same exact time as Lucius leaving. But Lucius being, you know, dealt with by his nurse, there has been time since the departure. So they should have showed that then this. But he took the pill, he went straight to sleep. And, you know, Cookie comes in, and she's, like, trying to talk to him, like, I done sent him off, like, oh, you sleep. So Cookie is talking to him, even though he's asleep, just like, I can't believe you did this. How dare you put Jamal in this situation? And she even said, so you want your family to take the rap for you, but nothing ever happens. And she's talking about herself and what could have potentially happened with Jamal had he just let Brady fall. And he starts having a nightmare about Bunky, and he even said, she's like, Bunky? What about Bunky? And next thing you know, he rises up, but he's still asleep, eyes open and everything, but he is still in that state. And you have Bunky sitting at the edge of the bed, and they're talking, and, you know, he pretty much confesses, just like, yeah, I killed you. How dare you try to post up on me, this, that, and the third. You know, I killed you even, and along with this person, when they try to say this, that, woo, wop, the woo. And then he lays back down, eyes closed. So he's still asleep. But we can see when he's told the nurse, I have been suffering from insomnia already. This is why it's been hard for him to sleep, because it's one thing for him to kill a random dude or some motherfuckers off the street that he ain't cool with. It's another thing to kill somebody who you consider to be family, that is family to your wife. Or in this case, ex-wife. So, and Cookie's just like, I cannot fucking believe you, you cock-sucking thundercunt bitch ass motherfucking nigga. That ain't what she said, but that's probably what she wanted to say. So I'm beating her lips right now. And we see that Jamal, and pretty much this is ending episode 11. So we see Jamal and his boyfriend fucking in Lucia's office. Hakeem is in the bed with Boo Boo Kitty, but, you know, Hakeem is just kind of gazing, and Boo Boo Kitty's kind of like, So we can see that Hakeem likes older women. Ain't shit wrong with that. I like them older, too. You know what I'm saying? Give me a nice little cougar any motherfucking day of the week. That's just me. I like them experienced. Just saying. But, it kind of falls back into that whole him having mama issues. I'm just babbling right now. But we see them in the bed, and Andre walks. Let me see. He walks off on Michelle singing like that, like he's in the church with her, and she's singing. He just walks off on her. And next we see Cookie, and she goes to suffocate Lucius with a pillow. That was episode 11, and I'm sitting at what, like 26 minutes and 15 seconds. So I'm gonna just jump right into episode 12. So Cookie doesn't kill Lucius, which I knew that she wouldn't, even if they would have aired these separately. I knew that she would not have. If she kills him, what would episode has just been it's a memorial service, we're done. They're not gonna let Empire end that easily. So if anybody thought like, oh shit, she about to kill Lucius, she wasn't gonna kill Lucius. She would have, but it would not have played out. Because again, we really wouldn't have had much of a season 2 if Lucius is dead. If I'm not mistaken, he's the antagonist for what it's worth. So, yar. So, Lucius gets all his boys together, tells him he isn't dying, and he pretty much says that he's conscious of the shit that he's done, doesn't expect them to forgive them, but he gives them all a gift. And they open it in a certain order, which I'm just like, yeah, I saw this shit happening. Because if it was... All right, let me not do that. I'm going to say that. Hopefully I remember that in the end. Like I said, this drink is strong, so I'm starting to go left on y'all right quick. I'm going to stay him. So Hakeem opens his It's Some Wings from a jab. And Lucy's just like, no one should ever hold you back, hold you down. I did that. I don't know that ever happened to you. So when you're going out, you know, doing your thug thizzle with your motherfucking album and shit, you got a private jet. Andre opens his is the line of Judah, and he pretty much just says, like, dude, you knew what I was trying to do with Michelle. And, you know, after the APO drops, you know, he's like, I'm going to start a, you know, the Line Foundation, and I'm going to donate $100 million, and it's going to be at y'all disposal. And Jamal opens his, and there is a scepter with a lion's head. So we all knew what that meant. The Empire is now his. Now, again, what I was trying to say is, if this shit was real, everybody would open their gifts at the same motherfucking time. But it's cinematography, build suspense, blase, motherfucking blah. Because I already knew what was going to happen, and when Jamal opens his last, I'm like, yep, he got the Empire. Now, there was a fourth gift, and I knew who the fuck it was for, and I'm like, maybe Cookie. Because I saw, before they even know, I'm like, maybe Cookie got it, but when I saw the scepter, okay, she ain't got it. Cookie walks in, like, I share the good news, whoop, why the whoop, and she trying to play along with it. She opens her gift, and it's a pillow. So, yeah, Lucius knows what the fuck she was trying to do. Okay. So, it cuts to the boys in a separate room with Becky. And Becky serves them tea, and she pretty much informs Hakeem and Andre, this will be the last time I serve y'all tea like this, because Jamal has promoted me to the head of A&R. And, you know, some of them, you know, they giving that look. Because... hating ass motherfuckers now. And, you know, tension is building between Andre and Jamal, more or less because he is the boss. Because, in essence, Andre still does feel like, motherfucker, that should be me. Not Jamal. Not at all. But it's one of those where it's like, Actually, let me not say that real quick. I'm gonna get to this in a second. But Hakeem wants his album to be dropped, and Jamal tells him, "Look, dude, wait 1 or 2 months. My shit just dropped." And it's not that Jamal is being selfish, but he's looking at because Andre is questioning his abilities as a businessman, and Jamal tells Hakeem, like, "Look, dude, my shit is already out there. If your album is already done, prepared, and everything, if we drop your shit right now or at the release of the APO, more or less." Then it's one of those where now we're fighting against each other for charts. Because, I mean, within the first week, more or less the first couple of months, is when an album is really going to do its best work. More or less the first week, because everybody's going to buy it, but as people start listening to it, they can gain sales. And what he's saying is, like, I just dropped my shit. If we drop yours within the next 2 weeks, now we're competing against each other. And then when it comes to, you know, public relations and everything like that, he's not saying this, I'm reading between the lines, but they're going to put us against each other, and that's not what we need. So wait 1 or 2 months. I promise you, I guarantee you, I will release your album. I am not father. But what he's trying to get at is, in essence, Jamal runs the company, but the boys are running the company. He wants them to come together. And Andre kind of gives him that whole good job, and it's very condescending. Very, very, very fucking condescending, but the fuck ever, you know. So, Cookie is working on the concert, and she and Jamal gets called into Lucia's office. And, you know, he pretty much tells her, all you're going to do is this concert. Jamal's like, that's not what we agreed to. He's like, it wasn't, but until this bitch tried to kill me. And he reveals that Malcolm put a, you know, camera in every house, in every room of the house, which I'm just like, I kind of expected as much. But he plays the video clip without audio. Now, I don't know if there was audio ever installed, but he plays the clip without audio. And what it shows, when she went to put the pillow over his face, he grabbed her arm. And it was just him just being asleep. And she just puts it down and walks off. And Jamal's kind of looking at her like, I cannot believe you. And she's trying to explain, like, look, he killed Bunkett, blah, 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 blah. And Jamal he's trying to waver, like, should I believe you, should I not? And, you know, Lucia's just like, you can't believe her. Don't believe her. And, you know, that's pretty much it. And Lucius has her escorted out, and the FBI lady, I don't remember her name, so she's going to be, so when I say the FBI, I mean the FBI. When I say the FBI lady, I mean the lady that played as her PO. So the FBI, I'm sorry, they picked her up, bring her back to their place. Lucius meet with Vernon, pretty much saying, like, dude, I need you back. And then that's kind of hinting like we might have a situation with Cookie. So the FBO pretty much is trying to get Cookie to snitch on Lucius, because, you know, they remember that the other guy that was kind of involved, I forget the guy's name, but if y'all go back to like the very last 10 minutes of the last episode, he mentions how, you know, they try to, you know, do this and I got them. And it's like, well, he offers some words and look, we can sit here and we can get them. She like, find yourselves another snitch. She walks out and Vernon's in the car and sees her, but because of the place, it just appeared that she met with her PO. Did not know she was attached to the FBI. And somebody's fucking text mine right now. So I'm about to sit here and read y'all. Well, I'm going to do this, but now I got to sit here and send a fucking text message because this is semi-important. So, Boo Boo Kitty and Hakeem, they're together. And what happens is, you know what, y'all, give me like 15 seconds. So, what happens is, they're talking, and he pretty much said, look, we wanted to hurt my father, we hurt him. That's it. And she is trying to use him as a puppet, like, look, let's schedule a hostile takeover. You know, that's what she wants to do. Like, look, let's just set his ass up, let's get his ass. And, now we have Lucius, he's at the venue for the concert. The concert has not started yet. And they reveal that, all the shit that Cookie had done. And, Vernon reveals that in reference to Cookie, all that she has done, because he's been spying on her, was, eat some lunch and meet with her fucking PO. That's it. But he also reveals that, look, since she's not on this project no more, Rita Ora, who in a previous scene, and it really wasn't that fucking important, but it is, actually, I did not even mention, I'll mention the same, but mentions that, she is not going to be a part of this project. And the one thing that I didn't mention is Jamal was performing, because I don't even think I put this in here. Actually, I put it in here, but I missed it. Sorry. Jamal is performing, and all that pretty much happened is he saw his mom, and she pretty much was like, look, babe, remember what I told you way back when? I got you. Boom. Because that was all with the performances and shit. Well, separate performance. Who the fuck cares? I'm sorry. I've been drinking. So, back to what I was saying. Hakeem tries to recruit Andre, and he's acting as a public, like, have you heard of a hostile takeover? And I'm like, dude, come on now. You a little pawn of shit. And Andre, pretty much just says that just accept that Jamal won. So Lucius picks Michelle to sing the part of Rita. And Black Rambo states that he won't be performing, he won't be a part of Empire because this fairy is in charge. He's talking about Jamal. Jamal trying to bull, but they try to grab back like, no. We got cameras on us now, motherfucker. Come on now, niggas. We're gonna come back. Don't do it. And in the board meeting, and I'm gonna just skip past a whole lot of shit, but just in general, the board is meeting, and they pretty much discuss this is how we're gonna deal with the Black Rambo situation. Andre doesn't agree with that. He's still kind of pissed because he's trying to figure out the whole, is it Empire, is Jamal Empire, blah, 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 blah. And you can see that by him not agreeing, this is creating tension between him and Jamal. That does not need to be there. So Cookie's with Hakeem, and she feels that Lucius should have made both of them, heads. She decides that, look, we can build our own shit. Hakeem tells her, we don't have to start from scratch. Because he's trying to do the whole hostile takeover. So Andre goes see Vanilla drop at the house. She leaving. And she pretty much said, you did not necessarily cheat on me, but you shared something intimate with Michelle. And I think she meant the whole emotional cheating. I don't know if I've ever said it on this platform, but I personally believe that emotional cheating is way worse than physical cheating. So, Vanilla Drop says she doesn't know what's worse. The fact that he cheated with a phony, because Andre even said that, look, this would happen with her, blah, blah, blah. But she's like, I don't know what's worse. Cheated with a phony, or you didn't even put up a fight for Empire. You just let Jamal take it. Which I'm just like, girl, go on some motherfucking web, baby. And Andre is sitting on his bed playing with his Bible. And he pretty much called Hakeem and says, I changed my mind. And it's like, all right, so you had God, and I mean, being general here, you had God for all of how long, and now all of a sudden, fuck it, I'm just going to change my damn mind. Bitch! But anyway, now we got Andre, Cookie, Hakeem, and Boo Boo Kitty. So, Cookie is talking to Boo Boo Kitty and says, tell me why I shouldn't throw this drink in your face. I said y'all. I didn't miss fucking drink and Lord have mercy. But why I shouldn't throw this drink in your face? Again, this drink, I'd have made this motherfucker strong than the motherfucker, y'all. I'm already sitting at roughly almost 40 minutes and shit. Which is good for, 2 fucking video. Well, a 2-parter. So, Boo Kitty says, because you would never get off the floor, bitch. I was like, did you really do that? So, I'm not really going to do the whole play-by-play, but Cookie throws a drink, pop that ass. She's like, look, I'm sorry, I tried. They get into a fight. Initially, Boo Kitty got her, giving her some motherfucking, oblique blows. They break the shit up. You're like, I'm cool. She breaks off. Pearl check, bitch. They get into a fight, break it up again. They fight on the motherfucking pool table. They said the third and shit. And, they try to get them to work the shit out of Hakeem. I'm sorry, Andre Let me see. Oh shit, my bad. I done went all the way up. Let me put an X right here because I done went up on these damn notes. Y'all know I've been drinking and shit, y'all. But Andre pretty much tell Cookie, look, we have to work with her, because there's this guy. I think his name was like Tricky. Is that the motherfucker's name? Tricky? Yeah, Tricky. And he can help with the hostile takeover, but we need her to get him. And she's like, I will work with her this time. Y'all need to pay attention when it comes to cinematography and shit. She said this time, because what that means is once this shit is over, I'm gonna get that bitch. That's what she meant. That's what she meant. Y'all can disagree. Let me know down below, but that's what the fuck she meant. So Jamal stops by to see Black Rambo do some freestyle. Now I'm gonna say this. This nigga, and I done said it, is wiggity, 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 whack. He ain't about shit. He ain't about shit. He about that street life, but he ain't about not a motherfucking thing, y'all. And I know that y'all can think of people who slang that shit, that went rapping, and that really ain't about shit, but get supporters because of their lifestyle. He would be one of them. So, you know, he killed somebody with his freestyle, and he really didn't. Again, that shit was whack than a motherfucker. And he asked who wants to accept the challenge. Jamal gets up. Now, Jamal don't freestyle. I was expecting him to freestyle, but he sang his shit. Hit his ass with some Bible verses and shut that shit down. I don't know what that means for later. And I say later because, again, this is me recapping everything. So, whatever happens with Black Rambo, which I'm just like, but whatever happens with this dude, we're probably going to see it in season 2. So, Booba Kitty, Andre, Hakeem, and Cookie meet with Tricky to discuss the whole hostile takeover. And his whole thing is, I will help you if you release my grandson's album. Now, Tricky is white. His grandson is white. Again, y'all already know Yarrell, a.k.a. T-Spillin. Whatever names y'all know this motherfucker. Bye. I'm all about love. I'm just stating the obvious. But, because Cookie pretty much said he ain't worth shit. But we can put his ass on. And he pretty much says that if you catch Lucius in some controversy, we can make this shit work. It will make it easier for the hostile takeover. So Cookie meets with Vernon, and she pretty much asks him, did Lucius kill Bunky? And Vernon tells her everything and pretty much says, make it right. And you know what? I already talked about this, y'all, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But he tells her to make it right, more or less with the boys. Because her whole thing is, I don't want to break up my family again. I don't. And with that, I partially thought she had a wire on her. Of course, she didn't. But that's what I thought. So Vernon goes and talks to Andre, and Vernon feels like, look, since Lucius isn't over Empire, we good. We Gucci. And I really don't need to really read all this because I already know it. But we're good. We have what we want. And Andre looking at him like, dude, fuck you. And at the same exact time, so you went from being Lucius thug to being Jamal's thug. These motherfuckers fight for what it is worth. Lucius put them paws on this motherfucker. Vanilla Drop walks in and she's trying to say, get off him. Because when I say fucking Vernon was feeding this nigga, like feeding this motherfucker, like he was feeding his ass. She grabs something and bops him over the head to get him off. And then they finally reel, and then Andre gets up to check him. He's like, he has no pulse. And there's blood all over the fucking carpet. Vanilla Drop just killed fucking Vernon. So Andre's whole thing is, let's call it a popo. And my whole thing is this. This is me going off on a tangent. If you that dude, if you that ride down for your damn daddy and did all this other shit, nigga, you call him the popo? Come on now, dude. Come on now. I need you to bring it on back. Bring it on back. And she's telling him, like, this is not going to work. Plus, I don't know if I can sit on the stands and testify. Because he's like, this is self-defense. But she's like, look, I don't know if I can do this. And he is adamant about calling the motherfucking popo. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And that was all the reason for him not to call the motherfucking Popo. So, in another scene, Empire goes public, and it's pretty much Lucius, all the boys, minus Cookie, minus Vernon. He was trying to wait for Vernon, but the guy pretty much told him, look, Wall Street don't wait for no motherfucking body. So he pushed the button. Empire is now marketable on Wall Street, this, that, and all the motherfucking third. So that's pretty much what that was. So now everybody's at the concert. And you know, the performances was nice, and what we saw was you know, they were doing Lucius' own music, and it started out with us, again, I play the fucking song, I really don't care. But they started out with a song, and Hakeem started it off, but kind of did like a remix of it. Jamal comes in, and they fucking killed the shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not here to hate on the motherfucker. And once the performance was done, not Lucius, Jamal has a wardrobe change and meets with Lucius. And Lucius tells Jamal his real name is Dwight Walker. But he tells him the reason that I changed my name is because Dwight Walker would have never made it on these streets. So I came up with Lucius' line to help me survive, which I'm like, okay, that shit works. I mean, if you a real dude, your motherfucking name ain't gonna mean the motherfucking thing. I got it, your moniker, your title, all this other shit. Fan blown on me, y'all, so that's why I'm going that way. But he pretty much tells him that, and Lucius goes to apologize for everything, because it's just like, I didn't know how to deal with everything, dealing with you, because again, he's on to Jamal, and he's like, it's one thing to be a black man in this world, but it's another thing to be a black man and be homosexual. And Jamal is just like, look, bro, look, look, Dad, I gotta understand. Now, I'm going to say this, and I understand that my viewers are diverse, but here's what I'm going to say, and take this for what it's worth. I'm in air traffic control. Air traffic control is not heavy. Well, it's not heavy in other ethnicities. If you are, and I'm being honest now, I don't want anybody to get mad if y'all disagree. It is what the fuck it is. If you're not white, aka Caucasian, if you're not of Asian descent, you are pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole. That's what this is. No lie, no shit, no tea, no shade. This is what this is. So I understand for me being in air traffic control, I have to work hard. And because I'm at like 48 and a half minutes and I'm almost at the end of all of this, I'm going to talk about myself right quick. Because when I did air traffic control in the very beginning, after I was facility rated and everything, I busted my ass. And it was one of those where one of my coworkers, he was white, we cooled in the motherfucker, me and his wife, who used to work with us but went to a facility. We cool as shit. But if he did less than the bare minimum, he was alright. But if I did what he did, I would not have been in the same regards. I had to come in and literally change up everything, come up with whatever I could to help people get through the program after this guy. I didn't do it because I'm trying to sit here and survive, but I did it because I knew the troubles that I had coming through. I don't want anyone else to go through that. But with everything that I did, unfortunately, I was placed on the same playing field. I will never sit here and say on this channel or in general, I'm not about race, I'm not about racism, but there are certain establishments, certain venues, certain things where there is that hierarchy and where black people fall in it. And I understand that. So I know what he was trying to get at, where it's just like being black. You have trouble. You have to work so much harder, especially in the grand scheme of things, to be accepted. So to be black as a male and be gay is harder. But I will say to be black, and I don't know this for myself, but again, I've worked along other black women. But to be black and to be a woman, right there, the challenge is twice as hard. To be black, to be a woman, and to be gay is anywhere from, 4 to 8, maybe even 16 times as hard. And that's just real talk. Again, like I said, if y'all know me, I love everybody. I don't care what your race is, what your religion is, because I'm fucking Jewish. I don't care. But this is me talking, and I kind of understood what he meant by that. And, not Hakeem, but Jamal pretty much is good. So, Jamal goes to do his performance. No, I'm lying. Before the performance, I'm sorry. FBI rolls in and arrests him for the killing of Bunky. And Jamal's standing right there. Cookie walks in, because this is Cookie Line Presents. She sees that the female FBI person is doing all this. She's just like, oh shit. Oh my goodness. And she's trying to make everything work. And as soon as he saw it, it's just like, she's your parole officer. Oh no, she's FBI. Here's Cookie. Bitch, you did this. And he called her a fucking ghetto rat. Because she's ghetto, but he called her a rat. And that whole rat thing, or a snitch, that shit is real prevalent. And even Jamal just kind of wrote her off, just like, I thought you said this shit was going to be between him and God. Him and God. Walks off, does the performance. As he's being taken away, Becky reveals that she could not find Vernon. His arrest is all over the news. And there is a talk about hostile takeover. And as Lucius walks out, he sees Andre Hakeem and kind of looking at him. And he's like, oh, so y'all did this. Now, he has an idea, but he doesn't know all the inner workings. And I think, and give me a second because I should not say that. So the FBI lady says to one of her guys, we need to find Vernon because he's pretty much the key witness. So Vernon did all this. So if you guys recall not in episode 10, when Lucius kind of shut down Vernon, did think, okay, you can't fuck me. Even though he was on that coco, he did his own shit. Vernon is not working with Andre, Hakeem, Boo Boo Kid, and Cookie. He's not working with them. And Vernon's whole thing is, alright, you fucking came for me, I'm coming for you. But Lucius looks at his two sons, Hakeem and Andre, is like, y'all did this. So in his mind, excuse me, y'all, because this fucking fan, even let me move this fan because it's blowing in my face. It's making me tear up, and I ain't trying to tear on this damn camera. But he's just like, okay, I know who did this. And the FBI lady says to her associate, we need to find Vernon because he's the key witness. And they start showing different people and where they are in regards to the Lion family and where they are in terms of everything. And it's one of those where Lucius has an idea. So he thought it was Cookie. But when he saw his boys and the look they gave him, it appears to me that Lucius is not going to come for Cookie. He going to come for Andre and fucking Hakeem when this shit is all said and done. So Lucius is locked up and he says, alright, game time, bitches. So we can already tell in season 2, Lucius is coming back with a vengeance. But we don't know what's going to happen with fucking Jamal. Because Jamal is still getting them checks, taking care of shit, y'all. So with all of that being said, and let me see how many pages I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages of notes, you guys. That was my TV Smoothie for Empire, Season 1, Episode 11 and 12, I believe. And that was pretty much all of it. I can't wait for season 2 because I really want to see how this shit is going to end. Hopefully you guys enjoy this TV smoothie. It really was more of a, reality. But again, I've been adding this on with other things because it's a, let me bring the camera a little bit closer. Because with sitcoms, excuse me, and everything else, I like to do this in the fucking TV smoothie for sitcoms and shit. But because it was a 2-hour finale and 2 different episodes, I combined all of this together. So with all videos, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Share this with a friend, a family member, whomever. And maybe they may like this. If I have missed anything, please put it down below. Please, please, please. And to the old subscribers, and not really old, but for those who have already subscribed, I thank you for all the continued support. For the new subscribers, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Spilling All the Tea. Because there's a lot here. There's a lot for you. For those who just did a drive-by, welcome. Please subscribe. Get with the game and everything. And since this is Spilling All the Tea, I spilled the tea so y'all can catch it. I think I did good. I made this motherfucker strong as hell. And until when you guys get the R&B Divas and the other TV smoothie, I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And until next time, peace.